Hi, this is Kurt Johnson doing another Mindful Monday from here at Shawbucks, Jamestown, New York on Chautauqua Lake. You can't be happy all week if you don't start on Monday. Should you choose to be happy, life is choice. This is part 2 of an episode from last week. Last week I told the story of my Texas experience where at age 20 I was left with a third grade reading level and an IQ that was below 70. I went from 155 pounds to 110 pounds. This week we're going to talk about the recovery. Enjoy episode 2. It was another tragedy that happened which really shifted my life back on a path. One of my best friends, Jimmy Ross, who had come to see me when I was in the hospital every day, who checked on me, who was a strong voice that there's nothing wrong with you, get off these medications, these people don't know what they're doing, you have to quit. He was adamant. And my dad had told me if I ever quit taking my medications, he's going to drive me directly to the state hospital and drop me off, and he won't look back. This is my last chance. So there was a fear, and I was taking the medications to avoid being in a state hospital. Unfortunately, my best friend and rock, Jimmy Ross, lost his battle with cancer, died June 12th, 1986. This was the first time I experienced any emotion in over a year. I cried. I remember isolating myself on the side of my parents' porch, and I knew that if I had quit taking my medications abruptly, I was warned that I'd have a heart attack and probably die, so that it needed to be a slow process. And I remember Jimmy Ross telling me that I had to get off the meds. So I said a prayer to God and clearly stated that if I am going to stop taking these medications, if it causes me to die, I'll be with Jimmy. And if it causes me to live and live a normal life, so be it. It was at that point I abruptly quit taking my medications. I was smart enough to throw them away in a way that my parents wouldn't discover I was off my medications. I didn't tell anyone, not even the girlfriend I had at the time, for 3 months. The first person I told was Mike Connors, and I thought I would be in big trouble, but I said, Mike, I haven't taken my medications for 3 months. I said, I think I'm okay. It was 3 weeks after I stopped taking my medications. One of my best friends, Woody, asked me to help him on a construction site, and I started working again. And it just was like Thor. He put a hammer in my hand, and I just knew what to do, and that's how I became a carpenter. So after I told Mike about not taking medications, he got a smile on his face, and he said, I had a hope that you would find yourself and find a way off these medications. I continued seeing Mike for the next year, and if it wasn't for my friend Woody, Todd Nelson, that got me into construction, I probably wouldn't have learned to read again, because in order to build, I had to learn how to read blueprints. And then once I got in the Carpenters Union, I'd have to read manuals and whatnot to install devices. So I was forced into reading again. And that's how my journey of recovering began, was through working with my hands. I learned how to read again, I learned how to build, and I became a carpenter. Thank you guys for taking the time to watch part 2. Next week is part 3, How Did I Wind Up in Texas Anyway? Like us on Facebook. You can also watch Mindful Mondays on YouTube at Kurt B. Johnson. Thank you guys. See you next week.